Detailed case summary. Loving v. Virginia was a landmark civil rights decision of the United States Supreme Court, which invalidated laws prohibiting interracial marriage. The case was decided on June 12, 1967, and is often cited as a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. Background facts: in 1958, Mildred Jeter, an African American woman, and Richard Loving, a white man, were married in Washington, D.C. Upon returning to their home in Virginia, they were arrested and charged with violating Virginia's anti-miscegenation statutes, which banned interracial marriages. The Lovings were convicted and sentenced to a year in prison, with the sentence suspended on the condition that they leave Virginia and not return together for 25 years. Claimant: Mildred Loving and Richard Loving. Defendant: the Commonwealth of Virginia. Argument in the court case: the Lovings argued that Virginia's anti-miscegenation law violated the equal protection and due process clauses of the 14th Amendment. They claimed that the law was discriminatory and deprived them of their basic civil rights. Virginia, on the other hand, argued that the state had the authority to regulate marriage and that the law was necessary to preserve racial integrity. The state contended that the law applied equally to both races and therefore did not violate the Equal Protection Clause. Final outcome and law justification: the Supreme Court unanimously struck down Virginia's anti-miscegenation law, ruling that it violated the Equal Protection Clause and the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. Law justification: Equal Protection Clause. The court held that distinctions drawn according to race were odious to a free people and subject to the most rigid scrutiny. The court found that Virginia's law had no legitimate purpose independent of invidious racial discrimination. Due Process Clause. The court asserted that the freedom to marry is a fundamental right, and to deny this freedom on a racial basis was to deprive the Lovings of liberty without due process of law. Key concept implications of Loving v. Virginia, 1967. Loving v. Virginia is a seminal case in the annals of American civil rights law and has profound implications on the interpretation of the Constitution with respect to racial equality and personal liberties. The case underscored that state laws based on racial classifications must undergo the strictest scrutiny and that any such laws must serve a compelling state interest. The decision reaffirmed marriage as a fundamental right under the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment, and its denial based on race was held to be unconstitutional. Key learnings: strict scrutiny for racial classifications. Any state law that classifies individuals based on race must pass the strictest scrutiny and must serve a compelling state interest. This principle is central to combating racial discrimination in legislation. Fundamental right to marriage. The case confirmed that marriage is a fundamental right inherent to the liberty of individuals, protected by the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment, equal protection, and racial equality. The decision reinforced the notion that racial discrimination by the state is inherently suspect and often unjustifiable, advancing the broader civil rights movement.